Hey scholars, it's Mrs. Jasnica, and we're back with another Draw With Me challenge. This week we're going to be drawing a turtle together. What you'll need for this project is a paper, a pencil, and something to color with, like markers, crayons, or colored pencils. Alright, let's go back to the art room. Alright, this project is for kindergarten all the way up to 6th grade. We're going to be drawing a turtle together, not to be confused with a tortoise that lives mostly on land. So turtles live in the water. They have all kinds of different colors, usually somewhere around greens, yellows, or browns. We're going to begin by making an oval shape. And we have to make sure that our paper is in the correct position so that our oval goes up and down. So, we're going to be using our paper like this, not like this. So our paper is now in the vertical position. We're going to find the middle of the paper, which is right around here. We're going to be drawing an oval right in the middle of the paper. We want to leave space on the bottom and the top and the sides so that we can add extra details. So I'm going to begin with my oval shape. I'm going to start above the middle and I'm going to go below the middle to make this oval shape. Now remember, your shape does not have to be perfect, but if you don't like it, you can always erase it and try again. There we go. Looks kind of like an egg, right? Alright, now that we have our oval shape, we are going to be adding the head of our turtle. So, we're going to be using kind of like two parentheses shapes coming out from the very top of this oval. So, I'm going to, first of all, I want to make sure that the head has space. So, this is going to be how big the head is, but we don't want the tip all the way to the corner. So I'm going to start my shape up here. I am going to go from this section and make a parentheses shape going down. So all that is kind of like a curved line, okay? So let me make a dot right here to let me know that that's where the point of its face is going to be, or I guess where its nose is. And from this dot, we're going to go down until we hit the oval, okay? So I'm going right here, and I'm going to go down until I hit the oval. This also kind of looks like the letter C if it was a little bit flattened, right? So this is the shape that you're going to make. And now we're going to make that same shape on this side. So again, I'm going from this little dot that I made, and I'm going to go down and back until I hit the oval. There we go. So now we have this strange shape that sort of looks like, I guess you can say, a U. Kind of looks like an upside down U. If this shape is kind of difficult for you, you could always just make a U for the head, like that. And then we'll add the eyes and everything in a moment. So let's go back to our head. Turtles have kind of almond-shaped eyes. So what that means is they're not circles. And even though Miss Jasnica loves to make circle eyes, I'm actually going to make an eye that looks sort of like a leaf shape. So the way we're going to do this is, first of all, we're going to find where we're going to put them. Normally I put stuff down here, but I'm going to put them all the way up here this time. Okay, so I'm going to make a curved line on the side here, like this. So again, it looks like a parentheses or a flattened C shape. And now I'm going to do the same thing again backwards. So again, this is going to look a little bit like a leaf shape because we're connecting two curved lines together. So now I'm going to do this side like that. And again, it just looks like a leaf, right? Now we're going to do that on this side. We want the eyes to be around the same place, so that would be right here. See, I'm going to go across and then put like a little dot on my paper just to let me know that that is where my eye should start, I think. Let me see. Oh, it's a little bit low. Let me put it right here. Like right there. And I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to make a curved line like that. And then I'm going to make another curved line like this. Let me check to make sure they're okay. Yeah, they look pretty similar. They don't have to be perfect. All right, so now we have our two eyes. And we'll add more details. We're going to add the two little holes for the nostrils. Now this is a very small detail, but we want everyone to know that our turtle has nostrils, which are your nose holes. So I'm just gonna go right up here, and I'm gonna do two little lines like this. So you can see they're not really dots, they're kind of little tiny lines. And that's to let everyone know that this is the tip of the nose. So our turtle is kind of laying flat and we're looking at it from above. Now let's do the arms. So since turtles live in the water, their arms kind of look like flippers, whereas a tortoise actually has kind of like tiny little hands. But we're doing a turtle. So this is going to be a little bit of a complicated shape. If you're in kindergarten, you can still try, but I will also show you another way to do it, okay? So we don't have a ton of space over here, as you can see. We're gonna make the flippers come up like this and then down, which is actually the shape that they make anyway. And we're gonna simplify the shape because it's actually a little bit complicated, but no worries. We're gonna be able to do this together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a line that comes out from this oval, which is actually the turtle shell. So I'm going to make a line over here. It's not perfectly straight, and that's okay. And I'm gonna make a line over here. It looks like it's got two baby hands, right? But no, those are just the lines to show me where his arms are gonna come out from, or her. So now we have these two little lines sticking kind of like diagonally out from the oval. And now let's go ahead and do this one first. We're going to curve it down and come all the way over here, okay? So I know that sounds complicated, but follow along with me and you should be able to do it. So again, we're at this little stick here. I'm gonna curve it down because we're going this way. So now I have this little curve. And if your flipper comes off the paper, that's okay. I am going to come down, down, down with this curved line shape. And now we have what looks kind of like, I don't know, I guess you could say it sort of looks like a letter J. Like a backwards, well actually no, like a regular letter J, but it's upside down. And now we're going to curve back up. So I'm gonna go like this and curve back up. In fact, hold on. There we go. Anyway, I'm gonna curve back up like this. So it's like a little tiny U. And now I'm going to connect, oops, to the body, like that. And this is mostly the shape of their flippers or their hands, I guess you could say. They actually have more little wiggly lines here, but That's a very, very complicated shape. So we're gonna be making this shape instead. Now, if this shape was too difficult for you, that is totally fine. We're gonna do the other one together in a moment. But let me show you another way you could do this. So let's say here is your shell, the oval that we made in the middle of the paper, and we made a line going up, right? So a line was for the arms. So what you can do from this part is you can make a U shape like that, and that will look a lot like the flippers that we just did, okay? Now, if that's too difficult for you, and I understand sometimes making these kinds of shapes are kind of hard, right? So let's say that that was too difficult for you. It doesn't have to be exactly like Miss Jasnica. You can just make your U shape coming out the side like this, okay? So if you don't want to make it like this, you can make it like this, okay? All right, let's go ahead and move on. So now we're going to, once again, make that same shape on this side. I know I'm gonna have trouble making them exactly the same, but we'll work with what we can. So again, here is our straight line or slightly curved line, and we're going to bend it down like that. And now after we bend it down, we're gonna take it and come all the way to here, just like we did over here. And then we're gonna come back up until we hit the oval. So let's do that. There we go. Let's see, are they? They're around the same area, but not perfect. Let's do it like this. There we go. So again, it's just another curved line. And from here, we're gonna bend it up like this. And then from here, we're gonna go all the way back until we hit the body, okay? Like that. And as long as yours looks a little bit like mine, you did a fantastic job. There we go. So that was actually like the hardest part, so no worries. The rest of it should be pretty easy. Let's go ahead and go down to the legs. So I'm gonna move my paper a little bit. There we go. And now the legs are gonna be super easy because they have kind of tiny legs. They don't use them that much. These are the ones they use the most. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make 2 U shapes for the legs. And we have a pretty decent amount of space here, so it's up to you if you wanna make them super long or if you wanna make them kind of tiny. I'm gonna make them pretty little. So I'm going to, from the side over here, I'm going to just make a U shape, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. So here I go. There we go, it looks exactly like a U. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Here we go. I think this one's a little bit longer and a little bit skinnier. Let me try to fix that. There we go. Now they look a little more similar. Let's go to the next part. Oh wait, I forgot the tail. I should definitely add a tail here. So some turtles have kind of long tails and some of them have cute little short tails. It's up to you how you want to make your tail. But we can use a V shape to make the tail. So what we're going to do is right here in between the legs, we're going to make a letter V. You can make it a fancy letter V or just a regular letter V. I'm going to curve mine just a little bit. And here is my letter V. So this is its tiny tail. And in fact, it probably could be a little bit longer because I have more space over here. But I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I think it looks nice. Now let's work on the shell. Turtles have so many different patterns on their shells. You can really make them however you want. I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you could do it. Before we begin on the patterns inside of the turtle shell, we're gonna make the outer rim of the turtle shell. So to do that, I'm just gonna draw another oval inside of this big oval. So it could be as thick or as thin as you want it. We're just making a line that looks like another oval inside of the oval we already drew. There we go. So see, now there's like a kind of thick line all the way around. Now let's do the inside. So before I do a complicated one, let me show you an example of a really simple one that kindergarten through second grade can do. So first of all, let me draw my oval shape inside. That wasn't the best I could do, but that's okay. So a really simple way you can do patterns inside of your turtle shell is you can draw straight lines, okay? So what that's gonna look like is we could put one line and two lines like this, and then we can do 2 or 3 more lines going down. So like this. And what that does is it separates the sections so it kind of looks like a turtle shell. Okay, that is going to be one of the easiest ways that you can make patterns on the back of the turtle shell. If you want to make it a little more complicated but still use this example, you can add squares on the inside of that turtle shell, and that's going to actually make it look super cool, right? Because look, I mean, all I did was some lines, and now with these squares it looks really awesome. So you can do that, or another way that you can do it. So let me do another turtle shell for you guys. Here we go. Another way that you can do a pattern for your turtle shell is you can just put those squares or rectangles inside of your turtle shell like this, and you just put them wherever you want. I put them in straight lines, but they don't have to be in straight lines. And this is another way that you can do a turtle shell. See? And it actually looks pretty cool, right? It looks like a turtle shell to me. And again, you can do all kinds of different designs inside of your turtle shell to make it as creative as you want. So they actually do have turtle shells that look like this. It's pretty cool. But again, that is up to you how much detail you want to put in it. Now I'm going to show you another way to do your turtle shell. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to make letter Y's, okay? So first I'm going to make sticks. So here is, I guess, right where this tail is coming from. I'm going to make a stick coming up. So that's the stick over here. I'm going to make a stick on the side over here. I'm going to make a stick over here on the side. Oh, this one got messed up. Is there like an eraser or something here? Here we go. And now I'm going to make a line at the top. So I made 4 lines, one at the top, one at the bottom, and then one on each side. And now I'm going to make the letter Y, okay? So this is gonna be like a fat letter Y. So see, all I'm doing is the letter Y, like this. This is the letter Y. And I'm doing it again over here. And see, these shapes are almost connecting, so I could just connect them. And finally, I'm doing an upside down letter Y here. So now I've got 4 letter Y's, and then there's a tiny little space in between. I'm gonna put another stick there. Now I know that was kind of complicated, but we all know how to write the letter Y, right? So we can definitely draw the letter Y on our artwork. And now we've made this really cool looking kind of diamond shape with a bunch of letter Y's and sticks. Now I'm gonna add those sticks here. I'm just gonna put them on the corner of the shell. There we go. And now I'm done with my shape for the body, or shall I say for the shell. So now you can add any other details that you want. So an example of some details is usually turtles have these strange shapes all over their body, like this. You don't have to add these shapes if you don't want to. You can just color your whole turtle green or yellow or brown or whatever color you want to do. Or you can have these strange organic shapes all over your creature to let us know that yours is very unique. So see, I'm just adding little, they look kind of like pebbles, right? But they're actually like different color spots on the skin. So yeah, I guess because they kind of have scales, you know, like a little bit. All right, I think we are ready to start outlining and coloring in. Let's get started. Alright, scholars, here is my finished drawing of a turtle. As you can see, I added some extra details right here and inside of the turtle shell. And I ended up making the water a greenish blue instead of blue, which now I see is kind of a lot of green, but I think it looks pretty cool the way that it is. And now, if you want to send me your art, you can send it to me on Class Dojo so I can see how awesome you drew. Alright, I'll see you guys back in the art room.